Time for a new DC Comics rant. And boy, this is a straw that's really gonna break any DC fans' backs. If not all their backs. I just found out from a text from Yellow Flash 2, one of my old co-brothers in arms in the I Stand With Vic movement, about a minute ago, that DC has has really ripped the lid off Pandora's box and let out a massive catastrophe. What'd they do now? That's pissed me off? It's a big thing that's gonna lead to the company's damnation. What they have done is one of the biggest desecrations of a character I have ever seen. And they've done it to their poster boy, no less. Yeah. And believe me when I say this, I am not making this shit up. They have turned the Boy Scout, the Man of Steel, the last son of fucking Krypton himself, Superman, LGBQT, after almost 8 decades as a straight man, 8 decades of on and off with Lois Lane, including in the original continuity and the Rebirth timeline, them tying the knot and having a son named Jonathan Kent. 8 decades of that True Blue storyline out the window because the shitheads at DC have gone super woke. When are these bigwig, bigot-headed sons of bitches gonna learn that with this motronic, indoctrination, fascist crap, enough is fucking enough? This makes me sick. Bad enough what they did to Tim Drake by making him bisexual. But I wonder how they're gonna fuck Soups up. They're gonna fuck up Clark Kent. I mean, it was bad enough they turned one version of him black, and I'm not meaning the Earth 2 incarnation of him. But this is revolting. It was bad enough when Obama became president, Superman renounced his American citizenship. Now they've really screwed the pooch. No, they haven't screwed the pooch. Just screwed the pooch. They've castrated him. They've ripped its balls off, and then put it to sleep. That's what DC Comics has done with this. Be right back. You guys thought that pairing Superman and Wonder Woman in the new and making it canon in the New 52 was bad? Oh, believe me, this is 10 times worse. Especially if you're among the more traditionalist DC fanboys like I am. Who always believed that Clark and Lois's love would always remain true. But nope, these woke fascist pigs who run DC decide to spit on the last remnants of decency Superman had like it was dirt and make him and throw him on the train, if you know what I mean. swear to God, these fascist pigs who run DC now have got to go. They are a cancer that's killing the American comic book industry. They need to be cut away and never return. Not everything needs to be woke to make it good. By doing this, you're just trying to drive home a stagnating political agenda. So you know what, DC? Fuck you to hell for what you've just done. And whoever was in charge and makes that decision and told the guy to pen it, you both deserve to go to hell for this. You may think of this as the mad ramblings of a true blue patriot who hates this sort of crap. You may think of me as someone who is against LGBQTIA agenda pushing. Here's the thing. I can tolerate the LGBTQTIA representation, but here's the thing. Do it in moderation, not in excess. If it's done every once in a while, that's fine. But do it repeatedly, and you'll lose. But do it repeatedly, and it loses. And it loses any efficacy. And I am a straight man saying this, which is ironic, I know. And I am a heterosexual to the core, which is ironic for me to say that about the LGBTQTIA agenda, that they're pushing it too much in excess. I mean, you remember the season 5 episode of South Park, Shit Hits the Fan, where they had the little shit counter at the bottom left-hand corner of the screen? Sure, it was funny at first to say it, but over time it got dull. Not to mention, it was part of unleashing the bubonic plague in the episode. While it's not releasing a physical plague onto the country, same principle applies here. These sorts of things have to be done in moderation, not in excess. Yes, if you want to push it. The key is motherfucking-ration! But, does DC give a rat's ass? No, they don't. Does Disney give a rat's ass? No. Does Marvel give a rat's ass? No. It's no wonder IDW is the only comic publisher that seems to be doing it right. And this is coming from someone who grew up with the Man of Steel as a kid. True, I was more of a Batman fanboy, but I could handle Superman, especially in the animated shows he popped up in. Whether it was his standalone television series, the Batman-Superman adventures, the Justice League, or Justice League Unlimited. Tim Daly and George Newbern were my Supermen. Wasn't around much to enjoy Christopher Reeves, for those wondering. And outside of Superman Returns, haven't really bothered with any of the live-action Superman movies that have come out since Superman 4. But again, you know what's making people dull to LGBTQTIA representation in television, movies, and video games? It's because it's being pushed too frequently. Like I said, doing it every once in a while isn't all that damaging. It's when it's done repeatedly where it starts to get toxic. I mentioned this when I found out they turned Tim Drake bisexual. Well, this was about a couple of months ago. A month and a half to 2 months ago when I found out about that. But I swear to God, with God as my witness, this will put the nail in the coffin of DC Comics. No one will go to a DC movie ever again. No one will ever pick up a Superman comic book with this LGBTQ bullshit in it. I mean, a current era comic. They'll go to the classic comics. They'll even turn to the New 52 incarnation of the character if they have to. But this new Superman can go wank, to quote a character who has been by since 1992, one John Constantine, the fucking wankers at DC can go booger themselves. And the only reason I quote Constantine, even though I'm vehemently against massive LGBQTIA representation, is because, in my opinion, he's the character that most defines me. Cynical, blunt, honest to a fault, always expecting the worst to happen, so that when it does happen, he's prepped for it, and is more than willing to shoot a snide remark. That's what I am, that's how I view myself at times. I'm basically the real-world equivalent, the YouTube equivalent of John Constantine. Off camera, I view myself as more of the Victor Sage Question, somewhat of a conspiracy buff and a crackpot. Get this message out. Share the video. Smash the like button. Subscribe to the channel. I'm done for the night. Goodbye. And good fucking night. Bang!